Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Snowboard Kids 2 for the Nintendo 64. Sorry about the little bit of the delay. I had family up in town and didn't have too much time to work on this while they were up here. In this episode we are going to be playing as Nancy, because the next two stages actually have very distinct costume changes. You know, there's a difference between the winter and the summer outfits. Well, these next two have their own unique outfits to them, actually. Yep, and now we're coming up to one of my quite possibly my favorite course in the entire game, Starlight Highway. I'm going to go for the balance board level 3 for Nancy because there's a couple tight turns in this place here, so I want to make sure she's fast enough, but I also want to make sure she's able to maintain enough of a sense of a decent turning as well. So Wendy's able to use her UFO that she, like say, started off with to actually do something interesting. Look at this. Holy crap, she even made a tractor beam. Oh, Damien didn't seem to mind it, that's kind of weird. Well, he did kind of like, say, reverse tractor beam himself from hell, or wherever he came from, so... That's right, this stage is going to be taking place on another planet. And again, just like, Turtle Beach, we can apparently breathe in space. This stage is just really cool. There's a whole bunch of these red booster pads all over the entire course on there, and yeah, knowing how to take advantage of them is pretty tantamount to keeping yourself in first place, because the AI is going to be able to use it as well. At this point right here, at the broken window section of the tube, this is a shortcut area. Don't be too worried about the missing bits of the floor itself. You're not going to fall through the floor or anything. I didn't go for the boost there because if you don't know how to do a tight enough jump there, you will just kind of like, say, sail off into a side and not be able to actually get yourself, like, oriented properly in order to keep going well. But yeah, we even passed through, like, say, an alien ship there and stuff in this little hyperdrive section with a bunch of boosters. It's great. I love this stage. And yeah, as you can notice, there, I went and hit myself with my own whirlwind. Isn't that great? Nancy and all the others are in special, like, say, spaceship costumes. Be careful of those meteorites there, because if they pass in front of you with a jump, they can hit you and explode on you. So it's like getting hit with a bomb in midair, so you have to make sure you're able to avoid those. Like, Slash's outfit, space outfit, looks like Spaceman Spiff from the Calvin and Hobbes comics. In this section right here, there's a bunch of booster pads as well as a bunch of those red bumpers. They're just like the teacups from the first game in Disneyland. Those will just start bouncing you all over the place, so you have to take care of those. This last section here, the steering can be rather tough if you don't know how to navigate it. That's why you want something that's good enough turning in there so that you're not going to keep bouncing off against the walls there when you hit the booster pad, so you just don't, you know, bonk into the wall and lose all your speed and lose your boost power up. Nancy's and Linda's outfits, so when you see them, they're kind of like a combination of retro 50s, like, Jetsons aesthetics combined with, like female Power Rangers outfits as well, or, you know, Super Sentai outfits. Tommy does look like he's, like, one of, like, say, the Fat Rangers or something, or, like, the fat guy from Voltron or something. Very, like, say, Japanese, like, anime-ish, 50s American sci-fi, like say, kind of aesthetic for the costumes. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, if you hit the booster a little bit wrong there, you can find yourself smacking into the wall off to the side, and stupid rats. I really like the interior of that little spaceship. It looks like something out of, like, Perfect Dark or something like that. One of the games by Rare in terms of how the textures look. And also, yeah, the music here is really cool. Not my favorite track in the game, but it's pretty high up there. And even though this is apparently looks like a molten surface, nope, we're not gonna burn on that either. And again, I can't stress that even though I don't get hit by them in this recording, I have been hit by the meteors before who just randomly show up while you're there just trying to make the jumps. I mean, yeah, like, you can't really do anything about those, so if you're just sitting there, you make a jump, then whoop, boom, one comes and blindsides you. It's pretty terrible when it happens. You can't do anything about it. I don't think even if you can dodge if you're invisible. The boost panel at the very right there is a bit tricky to try and hit, and I don't recommend really going for it unless you have someone who's slow and has really, really good turning. It isn't this cool here. Instead of like a traditional lift, it uses like a teleport teleport pad in order to get you back up to the start of the race again. See, it's things like this that makes me love Snowboard Kids 2. And here, we're sailing like a Saturn's ring sort of thing as well. It's just everything that goes into this course is just so fun. I really like this stage. I think, yeah, this is why I said I think this is probably my favorite stage in the entire game. Did I go for the boost here? Yes, I did. And yeah, this is what happens if you don't, like, say, hit the walls properly. You can end up losing quite a bit of time that way when you just kind of, like, careen off the sides of the edges there. But during the time when I wasn't uploading, I was recording footage for expert mode. So I got all of that done. That was a lot of extra stuff to take care of. Wasn't too bad, even though it was a harder mode. I didn't find it. It certainly found it easier than Snowboard Kids 1 because it just doesn't have the same problems as the first game does. I was actually kind of grateful that pan hit me right there because I was probably going to bonk into the wall there at any course. So that stopped me short. So I was able to just reorient myself afterwards. Even in this point here, I think I get hit with. Yeah, I get hit with 2 ghosts right there. If you look carefully, you can see the animation of, like, say, 2 ghosts' hands waving about. But thankfully, I'm right in a position where I could hit the booster pads, so I tend to find this course is fairly easy once you know the track layout. I don't find the AI is too terribly aggressive about it, so I just find this just to be just such a really fun course. It's also a little bit strange in that the actual, like, lift gate is right in the center rather than to the left or right sides of the arena. Yep, even being turned into a snowman can't stop Nancy's enthusiasm. I guess I lost. Let's all get out of here. I don't know what you're crying for. Can't you just, like, descend back to hell again and just, like, teleport to wherever you want? I don't know how Damien's, like, demon works in this world. It looks like we're having a best friend spat. You know, just rotating your arms at each other isn't really gonna do much, guys. But for the next course, I'm actually going to be using the Speedboard level 3, because it's the AI gets a little bit tougher in that one, so I want to have something a little bit better. But what's a good paint job for a Speedboard for Nancy? Is it roses, lightning? Oh, I got lightning. I got it. Butterflies. Yes, nothing emphasizes speed like a butterfly. I think Nancy was laughing at Slash's misfortune there. I think that's kind of a dick move, Nancy. Come on, you're supposed to be the nice one. But actually, for recording for this next course here, I actually had to go back and redo the recording, so at the actual end of the recording, you're going to see the money is a different amount than what I had before. And as you can see here, Nancy's in a different costume this time, because this is a Halloween stage. And as such, for Halloween, everyone's going to dress up a little bit. Ooh, a haunted house. So, Pirates and Arabian Night, huh? I think Nancy's costume is supposed to be reminiscent of her Snowboard Kids 1 outfit. And I think Linda's outfit is it's kind of supposed to be like, say, a butterfly girl costume or something like that. And Wendy looks like she's one of the Merlon family characters from the Paper Mario games. And of course, Tommy is like a Frankenstein guy. But yeah, I was actually learning more about how Virtual Dub, the recording software I use for my N64 recording purposes, how that works. And I was actually able to get a greater amount of colors out of the console now. That was a specific feature I didn't know of. Be careful when you start off the race here, because with a rocket boost start there, you can find yourself running straight into the walls if you're not careful. The left path of the first fork is the shortcut, but it's also tricky because it's 2 rails right after the other. I find it to be much easier to get onto than the crazy jungle rails, but that doesn't mean that it's easy to actually always take all the time. But yeah, in my initial recording of it, I exported it with settings. I didn't have a full color space, but ever since I found out what I could do, like with the color settings after I get the raw recordings, I was actually able to expand the color range of this, so all the parts that were actually really dark in this game, especially in this course because, you know, it's a haunted house, it's supposed to be kind of dark and everything, they all look a lot brighter now. It's just like, you can actually just see more of the course. It's like lights, it's like little like, side lights must have been turned on around a lot of the courses, so you can actually see more of the track ahead of you during, like, say, the exported recordings. It's not a trick that really helps all that much with bright stages, but it really helps with dark ones. Up there to the left where you see those two little coins, that's a shortcut, but I don't take it in this video because you need to have a speed boost to get up there. I've never been able to get up there normally with any of the regular characters. It's nothing special, but it's just a really nice cut. Like, you see those red arrows, that's where the shortcut ends. You go up that little ramp, you go up just a little, like, say, straightaway passageway. I think there's a blue item box back there, and it ends there, so, I can show it off in a later video, but it's nothing too special. But it's a shortcut I take the least amount of times in this game simply because you need to have a speed boost in order to get up there. I guess, get a guess it's probably possible that you don't absolutely need to have one, but I don't think I've ever myself been able to accomplish getting into that shortcut without, like, at least a fan. But yeah, as I was talking about the shortcut, you might have noticed that room there that had a whole bunch of ghosts. If you run into any one of those ghosts, you get ghosted. And simple as that, and coming up on here on the non-shortcut path in the first fork is another room that does exactly that. The ghosts tend to appear and just float left or right at random, so you're just going along, a ghost could appear right in front of you, and you could just end up running into a ghost anyways. And just like getting ghosted by items by all your opponents, you can have up to 3 ghosts haunting you, so you can run up to that many, and that'll like take you down to like 17% your top speed or something like that, so you gotta be careful. And in this room right here, you got a pumpkin shooting 3 shots at you out of its eyes, just like that snowman shooting snowman at you from the first game. Haha, you ran into me when you froze me. But yeah, ever since I expanded the color space now, I can actually see more of all the games I record now. And did you see that? That bomb totally circled around Tommy and totally missed him. I don't know what the hell that was. That was just, ugh. As soon as I saw that, I was like, what? It's like the homing just kind of screwed itself up. In fact, I think that's something I've noticed a bit more about the second game, is that it seems like the homing is a little less consistent, maybe, than the first game. I mean, when it, like the first game, it was more consistent, but the homing capabilities generally weren't quite as strong as it is in the second game. But they were more consistently less effective in the first game, if that makes any sense. Because other times you have that times like that where the shot just curves around a character for whatever reason. I have no idea why. I think the music for this stage is pretty appropriate for what it is, however I don't think it's terribly great. It's just, you know, kind of there to me, to be perfectly honest. Like, you know, nothing terrible. It works, it gets the job done, but I don't find it as quite as engaging as a bunch of other ones. It's nothing quite like, say, a Mario Kart track that was in one of the creepy locations. It's no Bowser's Castle. It's not even close to, like, the Luigi's Mansion stages in later Mario Kart games. So, but this track is okay. But, I mean, when the rest of the soundtrack is otherwise really quite stellar, and this one just being okay is just, passable. Nothing to get too worried about. And oh yeah, when you're playing in the multiplayer mode, since all the characters have different costumes, you can actually choose which costume you want your characters to wear, regardless of the course. So if you want Nancy to wear her Halloween zigzag pink and blue cat outfit in Turtle Beach underwater, you totally can in the multiplayer mode. And that goes for all 3 of the unlockable characters as well. They all have their own summer, space, and Halloween costumes. I'll also show those off in the extra video when I'm talking about expert mode. But yeah, with this race almost done, it's not too much else to talk about for this one. I was excited to talk about these two because I think both these stages are really fun and really creative to go towards. And can you believe that? I got a pan in first place, so... Smack. The next episode is gonna have the last races of the main game. Then after that, it's going to be all the extra videos. So I got 2 more videos left planned for the series. Then I'm glad to finally have this one done. I was looking forward to talking about these 2 stages. These 2 stages are just really fun. They're kind of some of the tougher ones in the game to get yourself used to, but I really like them. Oh crap. Oh, look at that. Wendy's got no fear. Alright. Guess that's it. I thought ghosts could, like, phase through walls or something, but whatever. Again, Damien, just go to hell and get yourself back out. Like, does it work on, like, Little Nicky rules? You die, you go to hell, then you can just reappear? Whatever. In any case, that's the end of this sci-fi horror episode of Snowboard Kids 2. I look forward to seeing you the next time when we beat the last 2 main stages of the game. See you then.